today I want to presentation my final project. Okay. As we can see, the dataset web link is in here, and actually this data is too large to upload to the Colab, so I use my Python work to reduce the volume of the data. I pick 1 from 10, and after that, the dataset still have like 20 million bytes, and then I start to make it a little. So actually I have like 19,000 of volumes in this dataset, and here is my milestone 1, and now the first step is that we can like install some packages about it, and I use pandas to read the documents and add it to the data frame and rename the column of them, because I let every dataset list have a new list, and then it can be easily understand and be dealt with. Also, it's not a perfect data set. I need to deal with the volumes at loss or something else. To the number data set, I use their like medians to fill the value I missed in the database set. So it's a common behavior, and it can lose data set to, it can reduce the influence from the data set to my future work, and delete the columns that I don't need much. So I printed them out so you can easily find that the row numbers or something else. I deleted the column 1920 and airport fee because it don't have much help to my analysis, and because of too much value or loss, and the data is not correlated. And also I need to transfer the data and this time. I let 10 pick up date time and 10 pick drop off date time list from the like revolve to the, it can help me to better analysis the time and features. I get some new features from the data set. For example, the columns time, and when it's Monday or Thursday, Tuesday, and I calculate the time of the duration of it. It can help me deeper understanding the dataset. And I use Desire to get the dataset, the basic statistics. It helped me know the dataset a little bit more, and then I use some like you see here. I deal with the missing values and some new transfer them to some new, and then I save them to the processed NYC yellow taxi trip. And in the first part, I choose trip distance, pick up, hour, pick day of week, trip duration as a future X, and I choose the total amount as my aiming value because I really want to know about it, and divided the dataset into training set and testing set. And I use training test split way. I divided them to evaluate the model in unknown data. So I also do the work like training linear model regressions or something else. And I use the MSR RMSE, and the RMSE value shows that there are 0.197, and it can help me understanding of the variance of the dataset. I use one hot encoder to divide the two variety vendor ID and the location ID transferred to one hot way, and then it can efficiently to use the models to divide them and make it more standardized. And I use standardized scales to standardize two number features, trip distance and fare amount, to help them in the model have like a very standard and unions percentage and distribution. And you can find in my code that you can always see the first 5 rows in it because it's more easier. But actually, it's plays a very important role in my data dealing with the data filtering or something else because I have to know what my dataset looks like. Sometimes when I use the like use some machine learning tools will change the data type and volumes or something. So to every model, I use the training set and a test set to show their performance. And now we can see the SVM is here. Its RMSE is 0.212, and also there are neural network model. In this part, I implemented 3 models and show me the RMSE, and then I compare them and find that the use SVM model is most suitable for it. I have learned that there's nothing will happen like you use the model and the model is perfectly. You have to adjust the model and choose a model, pick the model you want to use, and then you can get better answers. And then I make an example future data to the example data, I test them and get the like anticipation revenue. Actually, I think this revenue is too low, but and then I asked some taxi driver and said it's maybe not low, right? Sometimes life is hard. So after that, I can print data head, and then I need to deal with cluster. Clustering is a very important part in our course because we spend a lot of time on it. So I think I must edit it into my project. By the way, I do the project by my own, so I present by myself, and the whole process is finished by myself. So just a notification. So I found the processed NYC yellow taxi trip to load the pre-processed taxi driver, because if I do not use a processed CSV, I need to start it from the beginning because during this process I've changed something. First, I need to selection the future. Selection future is very important when we are doing machine learning work because if we don't we select the correct feature or we use no, there's nothing correct or wrong. There's a suitable, satisfy the work is the best feature. So I choose do location ID, which means ID is the people will get off their taxi as a clusters feature, and I use the k-mean algorithm. I divide the data to 5 cluster and then I printed them out. Because of in here I use cluster distribution to show the different clusters data volume and can help you understand them better. But actually I think it's not a good way. So I do a iteration in this implementation. So for example, you can see here is 16. It's not a good way to show, right? So I use the PCA and the k-meaning. And after that, I get a better cluster visualization. Actually, it's not very perfect, but I think I try my best. I make the cluster result as a scalar plot in the 2 dimensions, and every point means there's cluster. That's where solved my second problem. My first problem is how much a taxi driver will earn. My second is find a better location that can help them get on or get off, or pick the passengers up or passengers off. So I think maybe not enough for this semester because we actually learn lots of machine learning skills in this semester. So I do the third part of this program. Firstly, I printed out the first line of the data set and try to know the structure and the contents of the data I have. I was redoing this step, because if the data set going to the higher dimensions, I will lose to what my aiming is. So I try to make everything on the main strings. So I choose total amount as the time series feature to analysis it to testify the stability of my data set. I use ADF to test the time series stable and printed out the ADF like statistic data and p-value to make sure if the data is steady enough. And then I got the ADF and the p-value. Actually, I will divide them to make it steady. And the constructions, a Riemann model, and I make it the result more visualization. So, and also in the end, I get to the MRC and MAE to evaluation the performance of the model. Actually, you can see the philosophy I doing this project. I need to measure different models, and also I need to evaluation their performance in every step I working forward. Thank you. That is my project. I think I've already finished the 3 questions I asked before in the milestone 1, and let's see, you can find the milestone ones here. And the usage model is can partly or totally available when we trying to solve these problems. Thank you for listening.